Israel's Prime Minister has condemned the leaders of France, Britain and Canada after they called for an end to his country's renewed military offensive in Gaza. Benjamin Netanyahu called their remarks a huge prize for Hamas and insisted Israel would continue to press for what he described as a total victory over Hamas. Well, the joint statement signed by Sir Keir Starmer, Emmanuel Macron and Mark Carney says while they have always supported Israel's right to defend Israelis against terrorism, the current escalation is wholly disproportionate. And it warns if Israel does not cease the renewed military offensive and lift its restrictions on humanitarian aid, we will take further concrete actions in response. Well, Israel eased its complete blockade of the territory on Monday and let in a handful of aid trucks, but the UN says far more supplies are needed. The bombardment of Gaza has continued overnight with reports of deadly airstrikes. This comes not long after the UN's humanitarian chief has called the first delivery of aid into Gaza for 11 weeks a drop in the ocean. We'll speak to our diplomatic correspondent Paul Adams in a moment, but first let's hear from Yolande Knell in Jerusalem. Yolande, first those comments then from the UK, Canada and France and the reaction from Israel. Talk us through what's been happening.
Well, we've had the Israeli Prime Minister condemning that joint statement, saying it's a huge prize for Hamas and that it will invite further atrocities of the kind that was perpetrated on the 7th of October 2023, the deadly attack on southern Israel that killed some 1,200 people. He also said that Israel would continue to defend itself by just means until total victory. But I think this won't be so easily brushed off by the Israeli leader, because these are important allies of the country, the UK, France and Canada, that have come out with this very harshly worded statement, really some of the strongest criticism that we've seen so far of Israel's handling of the war, and threatening concrete actions as well, without going into what those might be. Now, this all happening as we continue to see Israel's deadly bombardment, this intense military offensive going on in the Gaza Strip overnight. The Hamas-run civil defense is saying that at least 44 people have been killed, most of those within the space of about half an hour, we understand from local sources, when there were Israeli strikes that hit a school being used as a shelter for displaced people in Gaza City. In the southern part of the Gaza Strip, there was a fuel station that's disused, being used as a tent city for displaced people that was hit, a residential building of 3 stories as well. And, still we're waiting to see